This is a fascinating and disturbing CNN article about a congressman. His name is Duncan Hunter. He is a former, I think, a Marine, I want to say. Well, he was in the military. But anyway, so this guy, he actually came out and made some comments about how, like, he openly, I don't know where he was, I guess we'll find out in a second, but he openly bragged about killing innocent civilians in Iraq. So he says that his unit of people, the people in the military, soldiers in the military that he was with, they killed probably, quote, killed probably hundreds of civilians. Civilians, not terrorists. So he's openly admitting it, which is amazing. So the headline says here, Representative Duncan Hunter, Iraq unit killed probably hundreds of civilians. The article is from June 1st. It says California Republican Representative Duncan Hunter said that as an artillery officer, his unit, quote, killed probably hundreds of civilians during his 2004 tour in Fallujah, Iraq. During a Barstool Sports interview for a podcast that was released on Monday, Hunter defended his support of Eddie Gallagher, a Navy SEAL facing a premeditated murder charge in the stabbing death of an injured person in Iraq. President Donald Trump is considering pardoning Gallagher. Wow. Quote, I was an artillery officer and we fired hundreds of rounds into Fallujah, killed probably hundreds of civilians, if not scores, if not hundreds of civilians, Hunter said. Probably killed women and children, if there were any left in the city when we invaded. So do I get judged too? Yeah, you do, you fucking asshole. Wow, it's amazing that you would actually admit this. He says, when pressed on a specific killing differing from collateral damage, Hunter argued that it was simply a matter of how people were killed. It says Gallagher's alleged victim, quote, might have been killed in a way that you don't personally agree with because you say it's against the laws of war, Hunter said, as opposed to artillery killing civilians, women, and children because it's kind of indiscriminate in a way. It's not a sniper weapon, right? Which is worse? And then he asks, which is worse? Among the accusations against Gallagher are that he stabbed and killed a wounded person, shot at non-combatants, posed for a photo, and performed his re-enlistment ceremony next to a corpse. Wow, classy guy. According to a charge sheet from November. Lawyers in the courtroom said earlier this year that the male stabbing victim in question was an ISIS fighter, who witnesses told investigators appeared to be about 15. Wow. Hunter said that after viewing relevant photos and video from the prosecution and speaking to other SEALs who served with Gallagher, he didn't believe the charges nor care if the alleged ISIS fighter was killed. He says, I frankly don't care if he was killed. I just don't care, Hunter said, adding that even if everything that the prosecutors say is true in this case, then, Eddie Gallagher should still be given a break, I think. End quote. It says Hunter has stirred controversy with his defense of Gallagher before, saying earlier this week that he had taken a photo with an enemy corpse and that many other service members had done so. So that makes it okay. The California Republican won re-election in November despite facing indictment on federal corruption charges. Yeah, I remember that. After allegedly misusing campaign funds. He and his wife have both pleaded not guilty to the charges and are currently awaiting trial. But yeah, Duncan Hunter is he's a maniac. This guy's a fucking psycho. Like, look at him rationalizing this. Oh, well, if the other soldiers did it, then it's okay if I did it too, and if this other guy did it, and a lot of other, people in the military did it too. Like, this is the kind of person you are. This guy's a Republican, man. I guarantee you this guy's going out there and talking about how I'm pro-life. I believe in the protecting the life of a fetus or a child in the womb of a pregnant woman. I'm against abortion because I believe in life. Yet you're going into you're in the military and you're shooting at Did he say he did it? Well, anyway, you're rationalizing and defending your fellow soldiers and your fellow members of the military, shooting and killing at civilians, and not only just male civilians, women and children too. So apparently, the women and children did something that you didn't like, so you had to shoot at them, or your buddies in the military had to shoot at them. I mean, like these guys, from my experience of dealing with like. Maybe not like me personally dealing with them, but when it comes to people that are like in the military, these people act like such douchebags. They think they can get away with everything, and they think they can whatever they do is okay because they're in the military. Basically, is what I've noticed. And if you see a lot of these people that have like been in the military, and like a lot of these guys like, oh yeah, I was in the military and stuff, and they go and do like fucked up shit, and they don't care. Like they support endless wars and all that bullshit, and then they're okay with like rationalizing it. So to them, it's just like, okay, well, that's just what I believe, and if I want to rationalize it, I can because I don't know, because I'm a brave member of the military and I put my life on the line. So that means I can kill other people, pose with dead corpses because I hate this ISIS terrorist, or I hate this Muslim extremist, whatever, and I can do all the things I want, and I can declare it, and I can like that should be if I remember, I don't know the details, but that should be a war crime. I would be surprised if it wasn't a war crime to do something like that, because that's fucked up. I mean, if you're getting involved in shit like that, that's just like you're getting involved in like ridiculously like unethical actions. I mean, look at how the detainees that were kept in Abu Ghraib and Guantanamo Bay were treated. Those were all, and a lot of those people that were in those prisons were not even actual terrorists. They were just Muslims that they just gathered together and just threw into a prison, and then they especially when it came to Gitmo, that was definitely the case. And they just, put them together, put them in prison, and they tortured the shit out of them. If some people remember, there was pictures that came out of Abu Ghraib where they had detainees, they had the prisoners on. Not only they had them naked, but they also had leashes around their necks, and they would drag them around. They would pile up the bodies on top of each other. They would make them stand like in like awkward positions, and then like on top of chairs or boxes and stuff, and like they would just humiliate them, just make them do all these like crazy things. So obviously these members of the military who are supposed to be like doing the right thing and like not being not being unethical, I guess. Obviously that's not the case, but that's how they pretend to be. Obviously they're the most fucking unethical motherfuckers out there. They don't even care about ethics. They don't care about doing the right thing. They want to do anything. So like, because in their mind, they're like, oh, well, we're fighting the terrorists. So because those people are terrorists, we can do to them whatever we want, and we can get away with it too. And if you're against me, you're against allowing me to do that, then you hate the military or some shit. So these guys in the military, they always say stupid shit like this, and not even so much people, not only the people that are in the military, but people that support the military. If you criticize anything that they do, that members of the military do, then that means you hate your country and you hate the military and you hate people that are in the military. Like that's not how I feel. I don't think every person that's in the military that's ever been in the military, that's ever served, is a bad person. But if you're going out there and you're admitting the same kind of shit Duncan Hunter is admitting, and you're the same shit that he says all his buddies and in the military did, then you're a bad person. Period. That's just, you don't deserve to, you don't deserve to be so-called protecting our country, because you're obviously not doing it in clearly you're not doing it in good faith. You're just doing it for, to get to your cheap thrills, basically, and it's all you really care about, obviously. So that's how I see it. Anybody that doesn't see it like that, you're just rationalizing the actions of these people that just think they could get away with doing whatever they want.